welcome back to the Whākē.
Season 1 review.
We are jumping into episode 19 with Maioro Barton.
Love you.
Love you. Maioro talks to us about his Māori whānau, being a wheelchair user, and jumping into the sporting community.
Maioro invites us to reflect on the childish acts of judging people for their differences when we know better than to do this in the first place and in this first year.
And the times that I was going into school, like that I'd make it to school, I was like a foreign person, like, because I was the only wheelchair user there. So, you know what children are like. They're very curious and ask questions. They'll touch. They say nasty things, laugh. So I got bullied a bit.
Maioro then drives home the importance of privileging the person before anything else in this whakaaro.
Can you just explain to me, from your perspective, are you like, is it more like, for me personally, I don't know if differently able is the best term the PC word way to approach conversation, or is it disabled? Because I feel like people are always like we've got two different conversations happening in this space where I'm like, because I've just started practicing. You're just differently, like, people are differently able to me, and it feels good to say it, but I'm like, I don't know that community, and coming from that community, I should probably ask, what would you prefer?
I'd prefer to be called Maioro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Done.
Done. I had a similar question because I called someone out for saying, "Oh, my gay friends." I'm like, no, they're your friends that are gay because they're your friend
People
first.
People first languages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then, like, some of my family has physical challenges as well, and I'm like, well, they're my mum first or my sister first or before they are their physical ability.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally say my friend who is wheelchair bound, or like if it even matters to the conversation.
To be honest, I hate the word wheelchair bound. The phrase wheelchair bound.
Okay.
Because bound to me is like you're bound to your wheelchair, as in like you're tied up, or you got some wood and you're stapled down and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
yeah, I'm just a wheelchair user.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just use my, like, as you see now, like, I'm not sitting in my wheelchair. I'm sitting on a what's this, like a computer, a chair. So yeah, I'm not bound to my wheelchair.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that nugget. I will change my language.
Please.
Good.
And because honestly, like, if you ever see us just, I guess, not uplifting your mana in that way, please check us, because I'm so happy to be educated in that space.
Sweet.
Like,
Okay,
I really, like, in my head, that's why, because I'm like, I love the fact that you're saying people first, because, like, can you just explain people first language for people who are not familiar with that terminology?
Oh, I don't know how to articulate that.
Oh, well, from your from like, I'm not expecting like the dictionary.
Okay.
Like, from just what do you think it is, or what from your perspective?
Okay. I'm not my disability.
That's right.
Yeah.
So just really putting in.
Or I am not my wheelchair.
Maioro then gives a recipe to recognizing when you are not your best self and how to get to your best self with this beautiful gem.
In certain times of my life when things are going hard and stuff like that, I don't like to be by myself because my thoughts get bad. But in those times, I just surround myself with people, positive people. But then other times when my life is good and I'm just chill, I just chill by myself.
I can resonate with what Maioro is saying about people first languages. Like, I think I touched on a little bit in there. Some people in my family do have physical challenges. And when, they're just my family first, and this is the thing that they're dealing with, that is not them. They are people first. It really, really lands for me. I think it can be so easy for us to ostracize someone because of something that they're dealing with. I'm like, we're all dealing with shit. Some people just have some physical stuff. Some people have some mental stuff. Some people have some social stuff. And you're not going to, like, I don't think it's mana enhancing to focus on the things that are challenges for people. rather than the person themselves first, because they're the person dealing with it.
Delicious.
Mm.
Delicious. That, I feel like that hits on so many levels right now.
Mm.
I totally agree, like full-heartedly.
Yeah. What does it bring up for you, this conversation?
I really, so I know we already talked about this. I just wanted to bring it back to light around if I'm an adult and I'm still feeling like I'm getting bullied, laughed at, like poked fun of, like feeling like I don't belong because of the environment and the people's conscious levels, I'm like, you've got the mentality of a child. Like, and I
Yeah.
feel like if we flip Maioro's first quote, like when he was getting bullied by children, and I'm like this, yeah, that's totally like I totally uplift Maioro's journey and through that. I've experienced my own nuance of that. And also I feel like there's a deep and meaningful of being like, if you're still perpetuating this type of behavior as an adult, you've still got that mentality that this is okay for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your need for control so that you can have a laugh at the expense of other people, hella immature.
That's childish.
Yeah. And then even to not emotionally regulate your own like thinking to being like, that's okay to do that. Like, I only know because I've been in situations where I've been the perpetrator.
Yeah.
And I've perpetuated that. So that's why for me it's like, I don't shame myself for doing that. I do feel a whole lot of mamai for the people that I impacted in a negative way. And if that conversation comes back to me, I'll happily own up to that 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of my past. What I'm ashamed of is the actions that I feel like I should have learnt by now, and I'm still not able to process because I'm feeling some sort of way about my growth. And I'm like, I'll happily be checked by anybody. And I feel like that's why I keep myself around you and Rose and people that are very 100% heart-led and can see through the bullshit. Like, to me, I'm like, I can tell when you can see through the bullshit, because I'm like, as I'm doing my thing, you're like doing your thing, you're like, and I'm like, I can tell when we're feeling like we're in flow and we're in contribution to each other, and when you're like, nah, you're in your fucking ego state, or you're in it, like, or you're still trying to discover this. And like, it's, to me, it's so refreshing to be around real people that will tell you the real fucking what ups.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. To me, as much as I love people who are growing and evolving, I actually appreciate raw honesty so much more than growth, because I feel like raw honesty, to me, in my experience, has actually led to my growth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because a lot of people's like, and you can tell, and I feel like this is something that that a lot that Maioro has experienced in terms of people first. Like, you privilege me first and are raw with your honesty, and not in a detrimental way to say, nah, you need to F off with that stuff. And sometimes you do. And it's like, to me, I need, like, we're at a place where I'm like, if you said that, I'd actually be like, okay, well, what the hell did I do to get you so fucking worked up? Because I know that that's not your natural state.
I would only ever say that to you if I was like, bruv,
you crossed the line.
The
like,
fuck on.
Hard.
Yeah.
And especially if I crossed the line, I would totally, like, I would call myself back. And at the same time, I'd be like, because in a way, I would never hold you to like one state of being. I'm just also very mindful that I've never experienced you at like full blown, like at full blown, like anything towards me. So if you were ever in that space, I would literally check myself, because I'm like, I've never seen that happen.
Yeah.
I've never, like, what did I say, or what did I do, or what did I bring myself to? And it's not a gaslighting. I'm not gaslighting myself. I feel like for me, because I love you so much, I'm willing to ask the questions of myself. Why did I get that reaction from you?
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like I get in reciprocity as well. Because in my head, I'm like, it's not. Yeah, I keep on coming back to this, but I always get this. Like, I never have this feeling of one-upmanship with you, and it's the most. And it's I feel like for me, that's like, I'm like this. And at times I'm like, trying to play into it of being like, and you're just like, you win. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck, I wanted to play. I was like, I wanted to play with it. And you're like, nah, you win. I'm like, okay, well, cool, whatevs.
Just can't be bothered with the bullshit. Bro.
Hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's really what's come up for me is I'm like, I'm so thankful for the raw honesty around people. And then at the same time, the way that people me first, you know, like, and the way that, and because you mimic to me my new reference point on how to actually be honest with other people. Because there's a lot of times where you've actually been so educational to me of being like, oh snap, I did not know that. And then I go and do the internal dialogue and do the change behavior. And that's the biggest call in, when you just plant the seed and walk away. But yeah. Anything else to bring up for you?
The
end.
Nah, I really like the way that Maioro called us in on that. And was able to say to both of us, you know, don't say that shit. Because that small moment of discomfort that he may have felt has alleviated probably a lot more small moments of discomfort for other people because he took the time to educate us.
And continues to.
In saying that, it's not his responsibility to educate us.
Thank you. Because that's what I heard.
To educate anybody outside of, you know, anybody at all, to be honest.
Literally, that's what I heard as well. Because I was like I heard myself asking, like, you know, I can't, like, please educate us. And then, like, in my head, I'm like, it's not your responsibility at all.
No.
So, like, that's why I was like, in that space, 100%, I echo exactly what you said. Oh, well. Maioro's got so many other gems. Definitely check out. I'm still actually waiting for the Barton Christmas.
Same.
Like,
maybe this year.
Lunch. I mean,
we need to make friends with his mom.
That Kumara bake is where I'm at. That Kumara bake is where I'm at. Wait, this is me. How do I make a Kumara bake? But yeah, so please do check out his episode. To me, it's a refreshing take on actually how to just freaking be a decent human.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And like, he took the time to have the conversation with us at this point and shared some little gems of education. So take the time to educate yourself so that other people don't have to do it for you.
I'm just gonna go and cry in the corner. I'm just being called out. No, thank you so much.
Thanks, Maioro.
The talk you. I don't know what I said there. The talk you. The talk you. Taco Tuesdays.
Fuck you.
The fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
The fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Bye.
Fuck you.